Yo, 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 it's your boy Chris here at Castle Cap. Another day, another dollar. And man, oh man, do we have some stuff to review today, as it was a wild and wacky ride here in the ES futures, as today was FOMC day, and the Fed came out with another 75 basis point hike. So that means interest rates just continue to rise as we continue to fight inflation. Tone, the market was wanting the tone to be a little bit more soft. Didn't come in that way as uh, they were kind of expecting a softer tone, maybe lower the next rate hike coming in December. We'll see what happens. We're coming into next year. But we came in as expected, 75 basis points, and doesn't seem like he's going to let up. So let's go ahead and review what happened today. All right. We got a lot to review, so I'm gonna try to run through it and explain it the best that I can. Overall, I did really well today. Only took a handful of trades. Let's see. Try to pull this up for you guys. Only took what, four, six, 7 trades on the day, and I closed out, $496 on the day. So that's a really good day. 100% on one account, another 100% win on the other, and then 75% on another. So pretty good day overall between the three accounts. Cannot complain as we had a solid day, and I'll review my trades here in a minute. But let's review what the market did. As you can see, we were wild once FOMC began, right around 1 p.m. our time, 2 p.m. Eastern. But let's review what the market did before then. Try to get this. Oh, maybe not so in your face, but reasonable enough to read. All right, so an A period. We opened after the market had pretty much rallied overnight. There was a lot of short covering in the overnight session. They got up to the afternoon rally high. Here, you can kind of see that on our 15-minute chart in the night session here. They got up to the afternoon rally high. I actually took a trade in the overnight session before I went to work this morning. Turns out I probably should have held it, but I only took it off for like a 2 tick gain. But overnight session was long initially, and then coming into the open, they had sold off, and we pretty much opened, within our balance. So let's go back to the chart here. So A period opens up in previous day's range, right? We're in a 3-day balance at the time. A period, we were initially trying to push up off the open to maybe go get that 11 wide POC. We never got to it. We didn't get there until late in the day. We came through, broke the previous day's low of day, pushing down. B period opens up. We try to push up initially, don't get anywhere near the open again, and then we roll over. It start the day off with a set of single prints here in B period. Now in B period, they don't hold very long because once C opens, we fill the set of single prints and we rotate back up, but never got back into previous day's range or value. Now remember, value is where my blue lines are here. Uh, anytime you hear me, anytime you hear me talking about value, this is what I'm talking about, is this whole area highlighted. That's what we call value area. So in between those blue lines is value. So initially we had value lower or overlapping to lower and then became lower later in the day. So B period pushes down right, we push C pushes up, we fill that set of single prints. So we can't go trend yet as we're still in a balance. The 28th low at 38.1650 is our balance low, but we didn't want to go trend to test that balance low. We also had the 50-day moving average right below us. 50-day moving average was right at 38.3350, so 50-day moving average was right below. at the time. So we didn't want to go test it quite yet. And then the majority of the day, we kind of just stayed rotational. We had POC up here at B's high for a long time. POC, you remember that's point of control. That's where a good majority of the volume is located. A lot of times where business price is happy to do business. But as you can see, it was rotational. Oh, zoomed in way too much. But we were rotational as every time you got to one of these highs, you could have taken a short against the previous high. So pretty much just chop initially, pretty rotational, looked like a B shape, kind of like yesterday. Yesterday was a B shape for long liquidation. So if I kind of condense this a little bit, you can kind of see the stem here, and then it turned into like a B shape. Same thing was happening initially for us today, as we had a little bit of a B shape. So we kind of stayed rotational, right? B through F for the most part. Hadn't taken out our initial balance low, hadn't taken out we did take out our initial balance high in C period, but we never did take out our initial balance low in C. So rotational, meaning you could fade the edges of the low and then fade the edges of the highs of those previous time frames. And then finally in F period, we attempted to go trend down again, only to fade it after setting a new low in G period and then fill that set of single prints. So we failed to go trend twice, once in B period and then once in F period. All right. And then as we got closer to the end of the day, we've been pushing down lower, pushing down lower. Market was getting more short, more short, more short. We were running out of supply, and FOMC was coming in right in J period, right? So you got I period, FOMC comes on in J at 1 p.m. So you kind of figured maybe there'll be some short pressure relieved, and that's what happened. I pops up, we relieve some of that short pressure, but we never get back to the open. Um, and then obviously what happens in that once J period opens, FOMC comes on, and then we get this absolutely massive volatility. Initially, the market's like, woo, yay, everybody, let's party, right? As we push up, get through the opening, get that 11 wide POC, we push up, we get the afternoon rally high, and initially you could have shorted against that afternoon rally high. It would have backed off a few points, but you would have had to been quick. We get into those single prints. We fill the single prints. You could have taken a short against that 3900 level because it backed off initially. Visual level can take shorts against that. And then obviously in K period, we tried to push up a little bit more, but couldn't find acceptance over 3900. And then we begin to roll back over. So we begin to roll back over. We take out the day's low. So after taking the day's high out, we take out the day's low. We come back down. We take out our balance low down here, right? Take out our balance low at 38.1650. We get the 27th low at 38.1350. And then we just missed that low day from the 25th in K period. And then we bounce. Now in L we decide to go trend after. And amazingly, we were 12 out of 13 time frames. 12 out of 13 time frames, we were wide POC here. 12 out of 13, or 12 for 12. Almost a perfect POC in the midst of all that craziness. So let me get rid of some of these destinations here in a minute. But in L period, we roll over, we create a set of single prints, we decide to go trend late in the day, and then we probe an M period. So a probe just means where price spiked through an area, which is what M did at 37.8125. We decided to spike as we couldn't fill that initial set of single prints. So what happened today? Chop initially, waited before the FOMC. Once FOMC comes out, crazy volatility, and then we get our directional move after Powell stops speaking, and we take our initial balance, our balance low on the daily time frame. So now the daily has gone from up, or not up, has gone from balance to down. So our balance, remember, was all this range. This from up here to down here. That's our balance. We've taken that out now. So now we've taken out that low. We didn't get our balance high, so we took out our balance low. The daily is now down. So what do we look for tomorrow? We look for acceptance below, right? We look to find acceptance and continue this directional move down. Get rid of all these. Damn, we even got that afternoon pullback low. That's crazy. So what do we look for? Tomorrow, we look to just continue this directional move down, right? If we do, we'll continue to one time frame down on the daily. The weekly becomes kind of scary because we go from an outside week, have an outside week down possibility in the next 2 days left in the trading week, and then possibly a look above and fell on the monthly from this high up here. So let's go ahead and discuss my trades. I took a long in E period. Took a long in E against D's low initially as we were kind of just rotational and we had not taken out the IB low. We'd gotten the IB high, so it kind of led to like, all right, maybe, we at least rotate back up to that point. I got long 45, got out 47.25, for a 2.25 point gain. I re-entered near 48.75 to pop B, C, and D stops. I should have just held my initial position. After I got out of my position, we pulled back in E a little bit and then kind of decided to push back up. And not gonna lie, that this position was a little bit of FOMO or fear of missing out kind of coming in to play because I didn't want to miss the pop that would eventually happen later in I period. But uh, I did, however, get out pretty good on that trade. Uh, I got out for a 3 point. No, I had my stop 3 points below just in case it decided to pull back. So I would have gotten out for a nice loss, but instead, once we popped up a little bit, I took it off for a nice 2 point scalp at 50. I decided to go short in E period because we were poor against C's high, right? So poor just means there was no more demand above that level. So at 38.50.50, we were kind of just dry. Nobody wanted to buy above that. No bids above that. So I got short. My entry is at 48.75. We've been rotational, so I figured maybe we would rotate back through the POC. And once I was short, we rotated over, and I got what was it? Oh, I got out at 46.75. So nice 2 point gain there. Then later, I got long in I period because F and G, I didn't know what they wanted to do. H period, still wanted to wait. And then finally in I period, I got long against H's low uh, to see, all right, maybe what will pop a little bit, relieve some of that short pressure coming into the FOMC. And that we did. I was long in I period at 42, and then I got out at 46.5. So I got 4.5 points out of it. Good trade. I probably could have held it. I was not expecting this big push up. I was just kind of wanting us to get back up to POC, which at the time was um, at F's high. So I was kind of wanting to get it up to 48. And I figured getting out at 46, run it by 2 points, and get out of the trade would have been good. So I was happy with that. And then after that, didn't do anything. Decided that's all I wanted to do on the day. Made pretty good money. Uh, Trades were really visual, really responsive, and I did well. I didn't want to trade during the FOMC because people tend to get hurt during that time, and I guarantee you, a lot of weak traders blew up their accounts in J, K, L, and M because they didn't know what the market was doing. Once these algorithms kind of start to set their parameters, if we start to do exact whatever they want, and we went and hit all those levels I was talking about yesterday on the downside. Um, kind of doing exactly what I said yesterday what I was expecting the market to do. But I also gave some upside destinations just in case, you never know. The market could have continued to rotate upward in K period and L period and taken out the initial balance high, right? So that's why we always give two sides of the market that we want to trade, but I was leaning more downward. Now we'd look to go test our 20-day moving average after closing below the 50. Let's put in our destinations here. So we have our high day at 3907. Sorry if this video is a little bit longer. And if you're not following along, if you're not, please comment below so I can kind of determine what I need to explain better, uh, how I need to explain it better, and do I need to go into more detail or whatever. So we got our high day here at uh, 3907. Today's the second. So we have our high day. We have our 12 wide POC here at E's low at 4350. 4350. We've been getting some pretty wide POCs, some pretty wide point of controls, which is very interesting. That's, you know, not too often you get back to back to back wide POCs, and we've been getting them pretty often here recently. All right, we got a 12 wide POC there. Now we have our set of single prints in L period from K's low at 380850. 380850 is where the set of single prints fill. So FPF 1102. And then they start at M's high at 3794.25. 3794.25 is where the single prints start. So on a push up, you look to see if there's still supply within this area, because all we did was just sell straight down. If you look over here on the left, you can kind of see there's no volume in that area. So maybe we look, if we push up, to see if there's any supply or sellers in that area. See if there's some offers. Then we have our price probe here at L's low at 3781.25. We look to find acceptance below the price probe. If we have acceptance below the price probe, then we should go lower. 1107 price probe. And then we have our low day and M period at 3766.75. 3677 or 75, excuse me, 3766.75. I'm struggling. All right. And then our low day there at 11.2. All right. So tomorrow, when we open up, we look to open up below the price probe and the set of single prints. If we do, then we need to find acceptance. If we do find acceptance, then we'll take out today's low of day, rotate lower because we're one time framing down now on the daily after taking out our daily balance. And you can see that here on the top chart. We've taken out our daily balance, and then we look to go test that 20-day moving average at 3743.25. So we look to find acceptance below. If we don't, then we'll take back that price probe and we'll look to get into the single prints. Now, if we get inside of K's range, we will go trade at that 12 wide POC. So if we're an upside destination, you can look for a short at the price probe 3781.25, where the single prints are 3794.25 to 3808.50. And then if we fill, then you'll more than likely get into today's range or get into today's value. And at that point, you would definitely probability of going and getting that 12 wide POC is high. For the downside, since we are one time framing down, Odds are good for continuation if we find acceptance below that price probe. We'll get today's low at 37.6675. The low of day from the 24th at 37.5175. The one tick of single prints left at 37.41. And then where these poor lows are at 37.13, where supply shut off from the 21st. And then the low of day and our weekly low at 36.5550. Now, if we do find acceptance below and we continue to trend lower over the next day or two, and we get below this 36.5550 and find acceptance, then the weekly would be an outside week down. And then the monthly will more than likely be a look above and fell last month's high. And I'll show you that here on our larger time frame. So let's go here. So let's look at the daily real quick. Daily. You can see right in here, right? I showed you guys yesterday in yesterday's video. This was, let me go ahead and take the extended hours off and then show you guys. Oop, too much. All right, so extended hours are off, right? So this is what happens. We were in a balance on our daily. 39.24.25 was our daily high, our daily balance high. 38.16.50 was our daily balance low, right? Well, we took out the daily balance low. So now the daily goes from balance to down. Now we're one time framing down on the daily and we look to find acceptance below yesterday's low, price probe, and single prints. If we do, the probability of going to get this 37.40, the 20-day moving average at 37.40, 50 to 25 will be really good. And then from there, I gave you the rest of the destinations to the downside. If not, then you'll look to rotate back up to that 12-wide POC that we had today, and then maybe back test the 50-day moving average at 38.28.25. But we just came out of balance on the daily, one time frame and down. We're back into previous week's balance. Not that it matters too much, but we are back into that previous week's balance. Let's look at the weekly. So we took out last week's high, right? We're still technically one time framing up on the weekly after taking out the previous balance high for the weekly. We're one time framing up technically, even though we didn't take it out by much, we did take it out. Now, if we rotate and take out that weekly low at what is that weekly low? 37.51.75, then we will have an outside week down. All right. And then on the monthly, this is a possible look above and fell, as we did kind of put the monthly into a balance, but we may see the bottom of that balance sooner than later, especially if the market doesn't like the midterm elections next week. Like I said, this is a long video. I hope you stuck it out to the end. There's a lot of information in here, a lot that can help you guys in the future, especially if you're a trader, even if you're just somebody who has a 401k, this is what you can expect in the market. We are still trending down on the monthly, right? We're in this channel trend down. If I were to draw a channel, right? If I were to draw a channel, we're in this channel down. So we're still trending downward even though we put the monthly into a balance. The weekly, potential outside week down, right? We still have 2 days left in the trading week. Daily is down. I was talking yesterday about how if we do come out of the balance to the downside, probability again that 20-day moving average is high, and the potential of us setting our lower high in is good, right? Our series of lower highs. This could potentially be our next lower high. From there, if we find acceptance and we do get back to the lows, are below the 20-day moving average, if we do all that, the midterm elections next week don't do the market justice, then we will come and see the lows and then potentially set a lower low on the year. All that's still yet to be seen. There's still a lot left in the trading year. A lot can happen. We could take back every little bit of today. As you can see, this market's been extremely volatile. Today's range was 146 points. All right, so extremely volatile days, large ranges. So if you are trading, trade safe, have your stops in, and then take the quick money. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for sticking it out. Please leave a like and a comment below if you would not mind. Uh, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.